to the Sim Podcast. I'm your co-host, Sirik, and I'm always joined by my co-host. What up, Ron?
What's going on?
You know what we do? We talk about the National Football League on a weekly basis, including the playoffs. Ron, this is episode 128. We just had week number 1. Are you happy with the Steelers win? Where are you right now?
Man, I am super excited to start off 1-0. The game itself, we'll talk about it, a lot different than what I expected. But at the end of the day, I'm just happy that we're sitting, 1-0 with a win that we were expected to have. Turned out to be more of a challenge, but I'm glad we're 1-0 at this point.
Yeah, and I'm not ready to push the panic button yet. And we'll talk about those games. So what do we have on the docket? We're going to have NFL news. We're going to do the week 1 review. We're going to talk about our teams. We're going to have our power rankings for week 2. And then we'll jump into the game predictions and we'll do our upset special. So Ron, first set of news I want to talk about is Sirik with the domestic again. I feel like every year he has a domestic accusation somewhere.
Well, he got 8, 9
he
baby
got 9
mamas.
kids, I think 9 kids. 9 kids, maybe 10th, I don't know. But is this something that's gonna follow him? Baby mama accuses him of something.
Listen, there's all sorts of noise out there. We've been talking for a while how dysfunctional the Dolphins are and what's going on with their team. Tyreek Hill is a big part of that. I don't know how it's going to end, but he's just not a good person. I don't know what else to say. That's not someone you want on the team. And all the noise, I've heard on the internet and stuff about, they're, if they don't play well, they're going to end up trading everyone, and Steelers are interested in Tyreek Hill and all that crap. I just don't see it. I don't see Tomlin and the Steelers organization going for someone like that that's such a head case.
It's usually the other way around.
Yeah.
The Steelers be like, this guy's crazy.
Exactly. Get rid of him. Exactly. So it doesn't make any sense to me. But like I said, that he is part of the dysfunction on that organization. It's he's just a part of it. I think there's a lot of blame to go around with not just Hill, but the coach himself, to a certain degree. Calling people out. Maybe he should have called players out. But yeah, it's just a mess.
I mean, and we'll talk about Miami. Miami was the first team to. First of all, I'm not doing a 10-game parlay anymore. I'm gonna compress that down. Yes, it was only $1 bet that could have won me $1,200, and I was a little bit iffy about going with Miami, but I was just let's see what they got. They had nothing.
Yeah,
they had nothing.
Dysfunction.
It was just, I don't know how that dude still has a job. The other set of news, Peppers to Steelers. Let me congratulate. He's not a Pro Bowl player, but he's an upgrade. The injury prone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed the guy. This guy, he played great for the Giants, got picked up by the Patriots. Even if he doesn't play many snaps, you're gonna be happy with the production.
Yeah, that's the hope. The hope is not that he's not, playing that many snaps. And, we got a lot of decent depth on the team, but, losing Deshaun Elliott, him going down, I don't think they've put him on to IR yet, but he's expected to miss a few weeks. It's a big loss because he had an outstanding year last year. I think led the team in tackles or close to it last year. So it's a big loss for us, but hopefully Peppers can step in there and, get some playing time and contribute, and we'll see.
Yeah, because he has some football left. So I'm not going to question what Mike Vrabel is doing, but he still has some football left. The other set of news, Cole Strange, who was a number 1 pick a couple years ago, to the Patriots, now with the Dolphins, got picked up on Monday. Is he gonna play, or is he just gonna give inside stuff of how things are done, because I feel like why pick
I
him
didn't even
up?
think of that.
Why pick him up?
Maybe there was an injury. I don't know. I didn't pay too much attention to
I just saw that and I was like, okay, this is very suspicious that they're doing this prior to playing the Patriots. The other set of news, kickoffs are back, Ron.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a big way.
Yeah, they are. Listen, the rule changes that went into effect make it so that, teams want to, actually kick the ball off because they don't want to give the ball up at the, 35 or 40 yard line, whatever it is. I think it's a good thing. I expect to see a few runbacks. I think player safety, we'll still have like player safety just with the kickoff rules and stuff. So I think it just adds another layer of excitement.
Yeah,
to the game.
You're talking about real hitting now. There's still going to be that whole like, oh, you can't really block anybody until they catch the ball. But at least, some excitement back in the game. But I think last year, I saw a graphic. It was like 24% of kickoffs were returned. Week 1, 76%. That's huge. That's like three out of 4 kickoffs going to be returned. That's great. The other set of news, I had it here because I have to tell you the story again. I know we did a Bills versus Ravens. Many people are already saying, oh, this is the best game of the year. And I missed all of the fourth quarter and maybe like 5 minutes in third quarter. Because I was watching that game and, Hopkins made that catch. And I was like, all right, game over. I can go to sleep now. Nope.
You can never turn your back on any football game, really, but any game that Josh Allen is playing, he's never out of it. So it was a great game. I thought the Steelers game was a great game.
That was a good game,
That was a great game, too. I think, in general, there was a lot of good games this weekend in football. Even going back to like, Thursday's game last week. It's just good to have football back. And I think, I think we'll see a lot of like really competitive games throughout the rest of the year, too.
And I was surprised that both teams put 40 points on the board because usually, September is an extension of preseason, right? So the defenses might be ready, but the offenses are still like.
But these aren't new offenses. I think the saying that defenses are further ahead, I think that is true for newer teams or newer coaching systems. The Bills are established. Josh Allen doesn't have to play in the preseason because the same exact plays he's been running for 5 years. Same with Lamar Jackson, right? So
my thing is that, okay, fine. The offense is going to put up 40 points. But if you don't have a decent defense, you're going to allow 40. So it's like, okay, I can see Josh Allen, but either Baltimore or Buffalo defense is just, they were bad. To be honest, they were bad.
I do think Buffalo defense is not that good. And I think Ravens defense, at least on paper, is good. But you're playing literally against the MVP of the league in Josh Allen. I just think he makes a huge difference. It doesn't matter who you put out there. He's just such a unique, gifted player. And he can make anyone look bad.
To quote Ryan Clark, he's not a generational talent. Josh Allen is not a generational talent.
Jeez. How's that guy still on TV? I don't get it. He's such an embarrassment.
You know what? I'm thinking that you need a villain on TV. Like that makes good TV.
You know how often I swear it feels like every like 2 to 3 months he's apologizing to someone online for some stupid crap he says. Like, great football player, love him obviously, being a former Steeler, Super Bowl winner and all that stuff, but like, dude, shut your mouth, man. Some of the stuff that comes out is just total BS. And it's not just with him on TV. It's some of the stuff I hear too in his podcast. I'm just like, I just can't take this dude. Can't take him seriously.
I know. I haven't heard. I've seen clips on his podcast, but I feel like it's very pro-black. Like he's really leaning into like, well, I'm a black player and we did things this way, and being a black person in the media, you treat it. I'm like, okay, what's your leaning? Are you gonna talk about sports? or you're gonna talk about the black struggle.
And why does everything have to be about him? Period.
Yes.
I feel like
Yes.
he makes everything about himself. He can have like someone on his podcast with like the biggest sob story, and somehow he turns it into like him. It's like no one's talking about you. You're supposed to be focused on your guest. And I don't know. We'll see how long that lasts. But ESPN, that's what they're into. They're into ratings, right? I can say the same thing about what's his face, Smith. That dude, I don't see how he's still on TV, but it's just whatever news they can put out, good or bad. Whatever attention they get, it's good for them.
It's really good for the show format where it's basically people are disagreeing with each other, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So Ron, week number 2, you predicted correctly 14 games out of 16.
Yeah.
I did half of that. I did 8 games.
You might as well just sketch. Where's that trophy, by the way? Sketch my name into it now, wherever the trophy is. I'm looking around for it. I don't see it because there's no coming back.
This is a marathon, not a sprint, right?
There is no coming back from that ass whipping from last
I'll
week.
let you have your ring around the collar for week 1.
What did you think when you saw the first 10 straight games in a row I called correctly?
Listen, I took my chances. Now I learned. Now I know which teams are garbage and which teams are good.
Okay. I think they say week 1 is a liar. That's what most people say. So we'll see.
Let's talk about your Steelers, because that was the Bills-Ravens game was good, but this was probably like a number 2 on the week 1. But why did the Jets score so many points? Because we were like, are they gonna run the ball? It's bad weather, blah blah blah. But Fields was slinging it.
Yeah, slinging it and running it. He was Houdini out there. We had a couple chances to sack him, just couldn't get him on the ground. I thought they came out more aggressive than the Steelers. I thought the Steelers were very passive on both sides of the offensive line and defensive line. I think they got beat. Period. Hayward, to me, he didn't have a great game, but with him not playing in the preseason, I think he's kind of like warming up to it. It's going to take him a little bit to get fully in shape and stuff like that. The other guys on the defensive line, I know we're missing our first round pick. He's out for a few weeks, so he didn't play. But the other guys that we were expecting good things out of, they didn't play well. Like Benton didn't play well at all. He was a first round pick, I think, from a couple years ago. Or second round pick, something like that. We expected more from him, and he hasn't been playing well the last few games dating back to last year. So I was not happy the way the Jets were just able to run all over the Steelers. That was very disappointing.
Yeah, 182 yards. That's almost 200 yards on the ground. And then the other thing that I was kind of concerned about was the many sacks. They had a total, from looking at the score at the sheet, 4 sacks.
Yeah, and 3 of them went to one person, Broderick Jones. He was horrendous. I can't even say how bad he was. He is such a liability. He's another first round pick from like a few years ago. It's a big year for him this year. They moved him from the right side to the left side, which is supposed to be his natural side. He had an up and down like off season so far. It's a big year for him. The problem though is the Steelers don't have a backup plan. So, they don't have anyone behind him that is good enough that's trustworthy to put there. So they didn't plan that part appropriately. Every other position along the line, I thought they were okay. They weren't great, but they were okay. But Broderick Jones was a liability, and that has to get like fixed. So yeah, Rodgers got hit, quite often, but he was spectacular playing.
Yeah, he really spread the ball around. 4 catches for DK. 4 times 17. Well, you're looking at 48 catches. The math is odd, but if at this pace, as long as you're winning, yes, I can see that happening. But is DK going to be happy with 4 catches?
Yeah, so that'll be about 60 something, right, for the season. I'm expecting him. Remember, I think when we did our projections, I still have around like 90 for him.
I don't know if 90 at this pace, if he's spreading the ball.
It's one game. I think, we threw a lot of passes to like Calvin, and we used the tight ends a lot. I think there'll be more opportunities for DK down the stretch. We'll see. It's just 1 week.
Yeah, it's just 1 week. The Pats, it was like a tale of two halves, right? The first half, they looked good, even though, I think that they weren't running the ball well. What they had 60 yards total in the game. But by halftime, Trayvon Henderson had 27. I was okay. Well, this, 27 for him, maybe 20 for Ramondre Stevenson, but that didn't take place. Drake May, I'm not ready to push the panic button, like I said. I think he's still a work in progress.
He is. I told you that.
But
what do you think? Where do you see him now?
13 points is not going to be enough.
Where do you see in terms of like, now that you see the other teams too? We haven't talked about the other games. I don't think we will. But now that you see JJ McCarthy play, Cam Ward play, Justin Fields play, and I had Justin Fields ranked lower. But some of these younger guys, Michael Penix, where do you see Drake May? You still see him? I think you had him ranked at like 19 or 18 or something like that.
I had him in the 20s. I think all these guys, JJ McCarthy, because he didn't have a complete game.
Yeah.
Drake May didn't have a complete game. I have to see them have a complete game. And talk about, when we get to the Denver, Bo Nix didn't have a complete game either.
Yeah, he did not play well.
So it's just so early in the season. Mm-hmm. I still think September is just an extension of preseason.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So I want to see, but because this count,
it
was a loss, and 13 points is not going to be.
Let me ask you something. I didn't watch the game, but why are we throwing 46 times and only running 18 in a Mike Vrabel system?
Well, that's what they asked him on Monday, and he was just like, we didn't think that we were blocking that well. And they were blocking better on pass than on the run. So I can see why he went away from it, but he totally went away from it in the second half. I mean, you got Geno Smith with 333 yards.
Yeah.
But he was averaging almost 11 yards per catch. You just can't do that in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I know Gonzo wasn't there, and I know that, all these new guys were there. I mean, the defense actually played pretty well. They brought pressure. A couple of times they got to Geno Smith. I think it's the offense is the big question mark with this team. And
it takes time.
I don't think 13 points is going to be enough. I think you need to be like around 24 a game to really have a chance. Again, we'll see when they play Miami. But overall, it was a disappointing because at halftime it was 10-7. They were leading. But, third quarter, 3 points in the second half, that's just not going to cut it.
How did Diggs do?
Diggs caught everything that went his way, but they didn't utilize him. He wasn't like the main character. It was Butte was the main character. But I was just like,
They have to be.
They have to be more balanced, and they have to run the ball more.
Okay, should they just make Henderson the lead at this point, or?
He averaged almost a little bit over 5 yards per carry. So that he's gonna be like a hit or miss. He's gonna bounce off tackles. I don't know if you can say that about Stevenson. Ron, who do you have on your power rankings for week 2?
For week 2, let's see. Not much have changed. I went with Philly at number 1. That's the same as I had last week. I got Buffalo at number 2. Again, the same there. I moved Green Bay into number 3. I got Denver at number 4. Washington at number 5. All winners so far. Baltimore, that lost to Buffalo, I have them at number 6. Detroit also had a loss. I got them at number 7. Tampa snuck in with a win. I had them at 10, I think, last week, or 9 last week. They're up to 8. I got the Chargers in there at number 9. Then Minnesota stays at number 10. That's where I had them last week as well.
I did a lot of reshuffling.
I see that.
I really like what Buffalo did, even though their defense is very shaky, but I have them as number 1. I think that when you score 40 points in week 1, you have to go number 1 and win, because I know Baltimore didn't win, but I went Buffalo 1, Green Bay 2, Philadelphia I got as 3, Tampa I got as 4, Chargers 5, Pittsburgh I got at number 6 because I was really impressed by what Aaron Rodgers did. I was like, if he plays like this for the whole entire year, this could be really, really good.
And I'm going to say now, everyone, again, just like I said about Drake May, we need to temper our expectations a little bit. There were guys running wide open on the big plays he made. And if you look at the stats, I think as far as yards per completion, average air yards, he had like the second least or some crap like that. So it was just a lot of dump offs most of the game. Just a couple like big plays down the field, but you take those away, it was just really checked down. So everyone just needs to like simmer down on Rodgers a little bit.
Once they start blocking, when they figure out the blocking,
that's true too.
It's not going to be running for his life and then having to throw the ball. Because I think when you do that, you mess with your consistency, right? So give him a clean pocket because he still got it. So I got Pittsburgh at number 6. I got San Francisco at number 7. Cincinnati at number 8. And we'll talk about Cincy because, wow. Denver, I got a 9. And then I got Baltimore all the way down to 10. So I took out Houston, Detroit, and KC. I really had like a hard time with Detroit because I feel like they have all the rosters pieces are there, but
well, why'd you take them out then?
Because they really miss Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn are not there, and it's
one game. They lost to who you have as the number 2 team.
Well, I think this week for week 2.
I think they got a tough game again, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm just gonna check.
I think it's like Chicago. Is it Chicago?
Yeah, it's the Bears.
Yeah,
it's the Bears, and the Bears are a mess. Yeah, so that's our power ranking, and let's go into our predictions for week number 2, and let's start with the Jaguars at Cincinnati. The spread is 3.5 for Cincy. The total points is 50.5. Ron, who'd you go with?
I am going with a slight upset here, and I'm going to take Jacksonville. And I'll be honest, I didn't watch much of the Jacksonville game or the Cincinnati game. I know Cincinnati barely got out of the win. I think Cleveland always plays them hard for whatever reason. I think Jacksonville and Cohen, the head coach, might have something going. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a surprising year for them. And Cincinnati, we know Cincinnati's defense still isn't that good. I do think both teams will put up a lot more points this week. But give me Jacksonville with a slight upset here.
I went with Cincinnati, but I wasn't like 100% like, oh, this is a W. But I think that they'll figure it out by week 2 where they need to score more points. Because you have them winning the division, and I feel like you need to pick up wins if you're going to win the division, and this is one of them, especially against Jacksonville, who, yes, maybe Cohen has a plan for Trevor Lawrence, but I want to see it more than just like barely beating Carolina. Yeah,
Lawrence, I feel like went off like this past week, or maybe not went off is the right word, but I thought he played well just looking at like the box scores. Thought he did okay.
Yeah, he did okay. The next game, the Giants at Dallas. Dallas is favored by 5.5. 44.5 is the over and under. Ron, who'd you go with?
Listen, when after the first week they're talking about benching Russell Wilson already, holy cow! I thought he would last at least through week 5. I'm going Dallas. I think Dallas played well last week, offensively and defensively. Give me Dallas to win.
I'm surprised that the Giants signed Russell Wilson because what's like 1 year, $1 million. just above the league minimum. I think it's like 700 for.
I don't know what his
For
contract
veterans,
was.
I think it's 700,000, and then if you're a rookie, it's like two. I don't know, but give me Dallas. Listen, I think that has a good offense. Maybe the defense is shaky, but Dallas should just like. I wish our friend was there to watch. I would to his house to watch this demolishment that's gonna happen from. The next game, we talked about it. Chicago Bears at Detroit Lions. Lions are favored by 4.5. 47.5 is over and under. Who'd you go with?
Yeah, I kind of went back and forth with this one. I do think Detroit will play much better this week against Chicago defense that's not as good. So they'll score points. This game is in Detroit. And I feel bad for Chicago and Caleb Williams. But Detroit needs to. They're a better team. They should win this game. Give me Detroit to win.
Yeah, I know that this is like the Ben Johnson revenge game, but Caleb Williams is wide open, guys. I feel like there was a game plan, but the game plan went out the door as soon as Minnesota got on top, and they were like panicking. I
think it was a common. Listen, I don't think Caleb Williams played that great, and I don't think Ben Johnson called the best games at the end. I thought they abandoned the running game. I know they weren't having a lot of success, but they basically just came out of like shotgun at the end and just like passed like repeatedly, and they put Caleb in a bad spot. Now there's certain throws he needs to make, but listen, they go down 0-2. It's just the noise is just going to get louder about him for sure.
It's already like when I looked at my tweet feed or my X feed, it was all about how bad Caleb Williams is doing. Like,
well, I wouldn't say bad. He's inconsistent. He made some great throws too. That's the thing. There's one throw he made. It was just unbelievable. He hit one of the receivers on the sideline, but then there's throws that you got to connect on, and he misses. So,
well, and that's the thing is like, I think somebody in the Minnesota game, some announcer was like, you gotta take the easy passes. And I feel like Caleb Williams wants to make the hard passes.
Yeah, the big play
all the time. And that was the thing. It's like, no, just take the easy pass. Just get in a rhythm. I feel like that he was in a rhythm when he was doing that in the first half. And then all of a sudden, like, they just abandoned all that. Yeah. The next game, it is... let me see this. Oh, yeah. So it is the LA Rams at the Tennessee Titans. The Rams are favored by 6.5. 41.5 is the over and under. Ron, who'd you pick?
I'm taking the Rams here. I didn't, I don't know too much about the Titans, but I know a lot about the Rams and Stafford. I trust him over Cam Ward, and I see the Rams winning.
I saw that Denver Titans game, and Tennessee had a lot of drops, important drops. It's like third down drops, touchdown drops. I don't know if the receivers are ready for Cam Ward, or it just seemed to me like there was no preseason. Like, hey, like receivers just walked in and they were like, oh, you throw sidearm? Oh, you throw hard? There was a lot of drops. Even if the drops weren't there, I think that Titans would have lost that game anyways. So give me the Rams. When they played Houston, I picked Houston because I thought, okay, their offense is going to be okay. No, Houston's offense is not okay. It's not okay. The next game, San Francisco at the New Orleans Saints. I don't know if this number is probably moved by now. 5.5, San Francisco. 43.5 is the over and under. Ron, we went back and forth because we just found out Purdy is going to be out multiple weeks.
Yeah.
So it's Mac Jones. So who'd you go with?
I still trust and believe. I'm having a hard time believing I'm saying this, but I think I trust Mac Jones a little more than I trust the Saints quarterback. So I'm taking San Francisco here, and I trust the coach for sure. Anyway, so give me San Francisco to win this one.
I'm going back and forth because no Brock Purdy, no Kittle.
Yeah, that's right. I
He's
forgot
out.
about him.
Give me San Francisco. I still trust that Kyle Shanahan will come up with some plan.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm just going to look this up really quick to see what the number is because they must have dropped by now.
Yeah, you would think so. Well, what a boring game this is going to be regardless.
Yeah, nobody's going to watch this game except for... So right now...
2.5 now.
2.5. See, I knew that would happen.
40.5 is the over-under.
Yeah, I still like San Francisco to win this game. Excuse me. The next game, the Bills, Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets. Bills are favored by 6.5. 45.5 is the over and under. Ron, would you pick?
Good job. Hand clap for the Jets last week. Their effort, all the points they scored and all that stuff. I don't think they're going to have a chance against Buffalo. I think Buffalo's, just way better than a lot of teams, most teams in the AFC outside of like the Ravens. Give me Buffalo to win this one.
Yeah, I went with Buffalo. I mean, it doesn't. It's come to the point now that it doesn't matter how many points they're down by. It's gonna be Josh Allen time. However, I do see this that they might not score 40 points like they did against Baltimore. But who knows? Who knows by now? I think that their game plan is let's get ahead by a lot of points and just let the dogs out. That's why they got what's the name, Bosa. That's why they got this other guy. They're just gonna let them do. But when it's a close game like they did last week, ooh man. But give me Buffalo to win this game. Talking about last week, Cleveland Browns at Baltimore Ravens. This is the highest spread, 12.5. 44.5 is the over and under. Ron, who'd you go with?
I'm taking Baltimore, but I think the spread is ridiculous.
Yes.
And I think Cleveland actually has a chance to win this game. This is a divisional game. You know how I feel about those games. They're always close. Baltimore's a better team, right? You agree with that? Yes, but Cleveland beat them last year. People seem to forget that. Cleveland did beat them last year early in the season when everyone was healthy. So I'm still taking Baltimore, but 12.5 is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm taking Baltimore too. I think 12.5 is a bit much, but they might be mad. I mean, they just lost this game by
That's true.
Derrick Henry fumble, I guess. I don't know. I think they want revenge, and I feel bad for the Browns because this should be a loss. I just don't know if it's 12.5. The next game is Carolina Panthers at Arizona Cardinals. Arizona is favored by 6.5. 45.5 is the point spread. Point over and under. What's your Ron? What's your prediction?
Yeah, another two teams again that I don't have a lot of faith in here. I was wanting to pick Carolina, but they did so poorly last week. I have to go with Arizona. I think Kyler Murray. He can do just enough. I think they have a running game a little bit now too, not just with Connor. So give me Arizona to win this one.
Yeah, I went with Arizona too because Carolina Panthers are like a mess. They're a mess. Even though that I just thought Kyler Murray against Carolina Panthers quarterback, what's his name?
Bryce Young. Two shortest guys ever to compete against each other. Probably.
I have to look that up because I'm like, wow, I just realized the quarterbacks. But yeah, Arizona's gonna win this game. 6.5 might be just about right. The next game is Eagles at the Chiefs. Eagles are favored by 1.5. 46.5 is the over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
I am taking the Eagles here, and why can't I? Okay, there it is. Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles. I think they're a much better team than Kansas City, period. We saw what they did to them last year in the Super Bowl. Their defense is legit. Their offense is great. Both lines are good. Jalen Carter will be playing despite the spit gate last week. He's not gonna. It doesn't sound like he's gonna get suspended for this week. So give me Philly to win this one. I know it's in Kansas City, but Philly will win.
Yeah, I went with Kansas City. I'm not ready to give up on them yet. Even though they lost Worthy. I don't know how many weeks. But I saw some encouraging, passes from Mahomes. He was going deep for a change, even though he wasn't connecting all the time. But I like what they're doing. They're just saying, fuck it, we just throw it up there. Somebody will catch it. And Philly was kind of like one dimensional.
Yeah, but KC, you got Worthy hurt and out, right? I don't know who else they got. I know they got Juju.
I know Rice is in suspension.
Right.
So he's not there yet. But I think that if they make Philly pass the ball instead of running, which they're very good at, especially with a running QB, I think they have a chance. Because I think AJ Brown only caught one pass. Talking about Ryan Clark, he was like, he had a great game. And the guy's like, but he only caught one pass. He had a great game. You don't know about football. You don't know what goes into it. What? Ryan Clark, jeez. Yeah, so I think Kansas City is gonna do it. I think Kansas City is gonna do it. The next game, Atlanta Falcons at Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are favored by 4.5. 45.5 is over and under. Ron, who'd you go with?
Taking Minnesota here. I think both McCarthys know what they're doing. I think JJ will have an even better game. He'll get better as the season goes on. I think Minnesota, especially on the defensive side, Flores is going to bring a lot at Penix, who's really still, a rookie at this point. So give me Minnesota to win this one.
Yeah, when I was watching that game against Tampa, he ran the ball a lot. So I think Minnesota is going to have a spy on him. But as you mentioned, I think that defense is just so good. I mean, I'm not saying that Penix is the same as Williams, but if there's any indication of what they can do, I mean, give me Minnesota to win this game. Even if JJ McCarthy hasn't, average game,
mm-hmm.
they're still going to win this game.
Exactly.
2 games on Monday night. First game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Houston Texans. Houston is favored by 2.5. 42.5 is over and under. Ron, who'd you go with?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I guess Houston's at home, but I'm taking Tampa. I have not trusted Houston for the past 3 years, even when they had that one good season. I'm taking Tampa all the way. I trust Mayfield. I trust their receivers. It looks like they got a real number 2 again, Bucky Irving and those guys. Give me Tampa to win this one.
I also got Tampa. I know they started rough against Atlanta, but that was a divisional game. So that they know each other too well. But what Mayfield did in the second half, you almost knew that he was going to get going at some point. I mean, there's too many weapons with the rookie. Got this guy coming back. Just Tampa Bay is a good team when they put everything together. I don't know why it's taking them. Maybe because they lost the offensive coordinators, so they're still kind of figuring it out. But yeah, give me Tampa.
It feels like they do that all throughout the season, though. Until the end of the season, they start to play well. They make the playoffs, and then all of a sudden they are in every single playoff game. You're like, damn, this team's really, really good. But then they just fall short, when they're in the playoffs. They're a good team that don't always play great, but they should win this game.
I think it also has to do that they play in the NFC South. So it's almost like they know they're going to lock down the division. Yeah, for sure. Because if they were any other division, you'd be like, wow, this team is not going to win the division. The other Monday night game, Chargers at Las Vegas Raiders. Chargers are favored by 3.5. 47.5 is the over and under. Ron, who'd you pick?
Let me just say I'm going to have a hard time staying awake for this game starting so late, 10 o'clock. I got the Chargers winning. They're the better team here. Chargers, if you remember, well, you probably don't remember, but at one point I was saying they were a team that are sneaky good that can actually win the Super Bowl. I still feel that way. I still think they'll finish behind Denver somehow, and maybe even Kansas City. But I think Chargers have a really good physical team, and Herbert has looked he can make every throw. He is like Josh Allen of the his division. So give me the Chargers to win this one.
Yeah, even though the Raiders won against the Patriots, I think the Chargers are a superior team. I think the fact that Quentin Johnson is actually catching the ball, McCarkle is already doing it. Keelan Allen, they already have
how impressive was he last week?
They have a chemistry with that Herbert, so I can see
true.
that. And I know that I haven't posted this, but when we did the Pats roster review, our friend Anthony was like, well, I don't know about the Chargers because their offensive line look good.
They're damn good.
Good. So they figured that out. Give me the Chargers to win it. Let's look at our teams, Ron. And let's start with the New England Patriots at Miami. Miami's favored by 1.5. 44.5 is the point, over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
I got the Patriots winning this one 26-17. I think Patriots will be comfortable, have a comfortable lead in this game and never really be challenged. It's too much turmoil, dysfunction in Miami. I don't know what's going on with Tyreek Hill with this investigation now. Will he play? We'll see. Give me the Patriots to win easily without Gonzalez playing. I still see them winning 26-17.
Yeah, I know when we did the roster review, I had New England losing this game, but then Miami is so... Did I share with you that like the 2 days before Sunday's game, one of the coaches was accused of domestic violence? I think it was a linebacker.
I think I saw that, yeah.
He I guess beat up his wife or his girlfriend in the apartment. I was just like, this locker room is crazy.
It's insane.
It's insane. I mean, if New England, I got them winning 24-10, because if they don't score 24 points against Miami, I'm really pressing the panic button, because
I think they will score points. I think they will.
I hope so. This is my prediction is 24-10, that they should at least eke out a victory, because if they start the season 0-2, oh boy, this is gonna get negative really fast. Seattle at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh favored by 2.5. 40.5 is the point, over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
Yeah, listen, I think both of these teams are really close. I know Seattle didn't play well at all last week. I think though their defense is good, they have a really good running game, which I think Pittsburgh needs to be concerned about, considering how their defense looked last week. I still got Pittsburgh winning this one 23-20. I think it'll be a close game, come down to a Boswell field goal at the end of the game, and we'll go 2-0. But I think it's going to be a real tough, close game.
Yeah, I got Pittsburgh winning 24-17. I think giving up 200 yards to the Jets, I'm sure Mike McDonald is like, oh man, we're just going to run the ball. So they need to tighten up that defense for sure, because you don't want to give another 150 plus yards again back-to-back week. Even if they do that, I think that the game is going to be close. 17-24 is my prediction for this game. Ron, what's your upset special?
I am going to the Washington game. Washington playing on the road at Green Bay. Tough place for any team to go in and win, but and I know Green Bay is just getting this guy going now on his team, Parsons. But give me Washington to win 27-24. I think, Jay Daniels is just special. It looks like they really got a good running back now, too. And then you saw what Debo did last week. He had an outstanding game. I think their offense is great. I think the defensive coaching is really good. Not talked about enough. I got Washington winning 27-24.
Yeah, to me, Green Bay looks so dominant. So dominant. Even when I didn't think Parsons was going to play. He ended up playing like 29 snaps, but he was still like a big factor.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So when he plays more than that, I just like Green Bay. I think they have Josh Jacobs, good running back. Love is getting there to like Pro Bowl status. So I went with Green Bay. My upset special, Denver at Indianapolis. I never thought I would say this, but I got Daniel Jones actually winning this game 24-17. I was not impressed by Bo Nix at all. And that was against the Titans. I like this defense a lot better.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, what happened in that game with Bo Nix. I was expecting a big jump, and still game one, so we'll see. So I'm expecting a bigger jump from, Bo Nix this season. But, again, Daniel Jones has always been a good, I don't want to say great. He's been a good quarterback on bad teams with bad coaching. And now it seems like he's found the right fit. So maybe this turns into like a Geno Smith situation or a Sam Darnold situation, where he finds like a second life to his career. I think the Colts have a pretty decent roster. They can go out to win games, but I'm still picking Denver to win this one because, again, I got them winning the division over Kansas City, so they need to win.
So do you think, hypothetically speaking, if Indy wins this game and Houston loses, is this the Colts division now?
I think it could be because I'm not as impressed with Houston and Stroud as other people seem to be. I think a lot of people are putting Stroud as a top 10 quarterback. And I don't necessarily see him in my top 10.
I'm just going to take a look at our QB rankings that we did really quick. I didn't have Stroud in my top 10. I did have him on number 11. I think that's about right. I might now, after week 1, I might put Love in number 11 and put Stroud 13, but I'm not impressed. I think Stroud, I know that the line needs work and I know that his weapons are not all there, but he should be by his third year, right? He should know, like, okay, let me dump the ball. Okay, let me do this. I didn't see that. The decision making is not there yet.
People says last year was just a sophomore, jinx or whatever, and he'll bounce back this season. I'm looking at where I had him. I had him at 15.
That's about right.
I think that's about right. We'll see. I think I have to see it. I don't trust them just yet. I just have to see it.
Yeah, I have to see it. I have to see it because I know we'll, at the middle of the year, we'll do our QB rankings again, but he might drop. He might drop. I don't think that he's, doing anything special right now. So, yeah. Ron, week number 2, what do you have to say to the Steelers fans out there?
Listen, big matchup this week. Home opener this week. Steelers have won some home openers. They've lost some home openers. This is not going to be an easy win. I hope people don't expect it to be. A lot to improve upon from last week. I just look forward to a really, really good game, and win or lose, let's not panic or get overexcited either, right? It's just one game. So we got a long road ahead. Let's enjoy it.
This is a must win. I know this is only week 2. I'm not saying it's a must win because of, they're playoff bound. They're not playoff bound. But if they want to buy into the whole like culture change and what's going on, they need to just shed the whole Miami. Oh, they're really bad in Miami. No, they need to win this one because got the Steelers next. Carolina should be a cakewalk, but then you got Buffalo. So they need to be 1-1 because we know that against the Steelers, at least I predicted that they're going to lose that game. They're going to win against Miami Carolina and Miami, and then going to lose Buffalo. So
that's exactly, I'm looking at both of us. I think that's what we had. Actually, you had like them losing to Miami initially, but I had them winning this week in Miami, losing to Pittsburgh, and then winning against Carolina. So
yeah, so if they're 2-2 by the time they go against Buffalo, they're in the right pace.
Yeah.
If they're 1-3, you need to sound off the alarm because that's not even though we're talking about September, I think they don't play Buffalo first week of October, but you do not want to go 1-3 going into October. But again, it's that then they have two cake cup games. Saints and Titans might be good. Who knows? They play Denver pretty tough. So yeah, I'm not ready to press a panic button until week 2 if they lose this game. Yes.
How has Patriot Nation taken? Like, what was the mood, I guess, online and on radio stations?
Toxic. Like,
why?
I couldn't even, like, because I know that a lot of
people had their expectations too high, I think.
And they fabricate so many stories.
Yeah.
They, like, I was just like, I think I saw something where it was like, who hired Josh McDaniels? I was like, what? They were like, is it Mike Vrabel or was it the Kraft? I'm like, what? Oh, that's not what's important right now. It's like, wow, they nitpick and they just find a threat and they're just like, oh, this is gonna make great radio.
Yeah.
I'm not in that vicinity. I'm not even touching that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what it is. Like, people, and it's only been one game and they're already questioning, like, whoa, should we have hired Mike Vrabel? I'm like, is that a story? Like, are people actually listening and be like, yeah, this is a bad hire?
Listen, I think he's going to be a culture changer.
Yeah, and it's going to take a while.
It's going to take a while. I don't follow too much of the Patriots and what's going on. I did see him on some show or like being interviewed. They were asking him about like Belichick and all this other stuff. I don't know what his schedule looks like, but it needs to be just about football. You don't see great coaches like Tomlin doing anything like with the media at all. It's always just, I'm here for football, getting my team better, and that's it. And I hope that's what Vrabel's doing. He's not off like doing a million different interviews and stuff like that.
I think that he knew that sort of stuff came with the job. Like, hey, every week you're going to do a radio show. Maybe once or twice a week. Oh, you're going to do this. I saw this. It was funny. You know how before every game they have like a magazine. What's it called? I can't think of the name right now. But you know who was on the cover? Mike Vrabel. Because they couldn't put Drake May. He's not established. They couldn't put anybody else. They couldn't put Gonzalez because he's not even playing. They had to go with one guy, Mike Vrabel. So I was just like, wow, he's basically the face of the franchise. Forget about Drake May, Stephon Diggs, and all the other guys. So it's on his shoulders, and that's the way he wanted it. He's like, but
people aren't going to have patience. They should have patience. They're not going. And this is his first year. He's still getting his roster. I told you it's going to take 2 or 3 years to get his guys in there that he really wants, and not just a bunch of old vets. I'm talking about like drafting.
A couple of drafts. Yeah.
It's going to take 2 or 3 years, period. And that's 2 or 3 years where Drake May gets to develop too. So that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. That's a great thing. And Drake May, 2 or 3 years from now, should be a hell of a lot better than he is today. So just be patient, I say to all the Patriots fans out there, because I would rather be, part of me says I'd rather be in your shoes than to be with this all or nothing Steelers team, knowing that Rodgers is gone and we're back
this year.
And back searching for a franchise quarterback again next season. So stay patient.
Yeah, I mean, looking at we all went with C as an average for the roster, but if they go down 0-2, this average roster could be from a C to a D, because I think they lack depth because we mentioned the drafts. And another thing is like Drake May is not ready, but at least put up 24 points. If you're gonna win in the NFL, you need to average that much.
Did he play that bad though?
Second half he did. He had a turnover. He had a fumble. He was all over the place.
But that's been his motto from year one, right? He turns the ball over a lot. That's why I was, asking about what do you think his interceptions are going to be, because last year he turned, in his rookie year, he turned the ball over a little bit too much. So
yeah, we all went double figures. You had him at 15, so did I. Larry had him at 9. I can't remember what Anthony said, but yeah, listen. This week they need to win. Flat out, they need to win because Miami's dysfunctional. The coach is hanging by a thread. They need to win. So next week we'll have week 3. We'll have episode 129. I think that's when we're okay. So we're leaving for Boston Saturday. Sunday we'll have the game.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe
and we come back Monday at some point.
Yeah. So we'll have the week 3 show, and then we'll put like a before the game podcast really quickly after the game podcast, and then we'll go back to our schedule. So we might have 2 extra audio, 2 extra podcasts for you to listen to. So week number 2, here we go. Here we go.
It starts off with a bang, by the way, right? Tomorrow
is a great game. Washington, Green Bay. So it's a great game. You got Washington, I got Green Bay, so it's going to be a great game. So, episode 28 is over. With that said, I say peace.
Peace.
All right, that's it, guys. That's the end of the show. Thanks so much for all your support and listening today. If you got any questions, comments, feedback, feel free to email us at simsportsmedia@gmail.com. That's SYMSPORTSMEDIA@gmail.com. Peace.
Sim Podcast Show.